Yeah.
In your expert opinion, what are some things that you can put in place when you are outsourcing to protect your baby, right?
Yes,
That people
yes.
can feel more comfortable outsourcing to other people.
Absolutely. And that's a great point because there are ways to sort of help you feel better. Let's use your example of a baby. We all have a chance to or been a part of babies in our life and taking care of them. I have 4 little babies. They're not babies anymore. But if we actually sat there all day watching them and only changing their diapers and only feeding them, and we never put them in daycare, we never took them to school, we could never be productive in life. And that's sort of how it is with the business. At some point, you have to trust the school. You have to trust other people. Now, the school is not in the business of making babies. They're in the business of training babies. So I take them to my school because I know they're not going to make more babies for me. They're going to train them. Most of your contractors aren't in your business. The paranoia that somebody's going to make money from your business is not real. It's not real at all. In fact, when people talk about China, they go, well, I don't want to go to China because they steal my stuff. China steals stuff that's popular and makes a lot of money. That's how they're going to steal Louis Vuitton. They're going to steal Gucci. They're not going to steal your, shirt that you only sold 22 to the people on down your block. Their job is to mass produce and sell to you and convince you to buy a lot of quantities for them. They don't want to steal that. So same thing in business. Most contractors you run into aren't looking to steal your business. And some developers may be little, when you start doing the apps and development, it kind of does get in the gray area. I know everybody's worried about that Facebook situation, but the way you protect yourself when you do turn your baby over to a contractor is NDA, non-disclosure agreement. So if you had a babysitter that's come home and take care of my baby, oh, hold on. Before you get control of my baby, I need you to sign this NDA, meaning that this is going to be my baby when it gets back. You're not going to try to put anything crazy in my baby's head, and you're certainly not going to take my baby and go and do something with it. So what I do as the business attorney is try to give people tools to make them feel better about outsourcing that it is your baby. And one of the things that is hard is that entrepreneurs are super, super smart, and they can figure anything out. And that's the hard thing about your time allocation is you have to be disciplined to say, even though I can figure this out, I need to stop. And that happens to me. It happens to me every single day. It happens to me in my house in plumbing. Something goes wrong. I was like, I can fix it. Then something else goes wrong. I run to the hardware store. I can still fix that. And at some point you have to say, all right, I can't fix this, but I'm going to turn it over to somebody else. Same thing in business. You have to be self-disciplined because no one else is watching you. You're making these decisions by yourself. So you have to be disciplined to say, I'm just going to turn this over to somebody, let them take care of my baby so I can go to work. Because if I sit here and work on this baby all day, I can't get to the sales and the customers. And because I know how to take care of my baby, it makes it even harder to outsource it. So you have to find the right vendors. And that's where talking to other business owners and figuring out who's the right vendors. Because a lot of times when you say, okay, I am going to hire a babysitter or I'm going to let my kid go to school. But we all know there's all different kind of babysitters and there's all different kind of schools. Same thing in business. Once you make a decision to outsource, that's the scary thing, right? Okay, I'm not going to do my website. I'm going to hire somebody to do my website. Then who do I hire? That's where they all get stuck. They're like, oh, well, who's best, etc. And I tell them, talk to other business owners. Look at other business owners' website and ask them who did your website. You're going to have to do more work than just opening up the yellow pages like a consumer and finding someone when you're a business owner. The way that consumers look at things and business owners look at things are two different things. Business owners, you should be talking to your network of similar businesses about websites and things like that because they're looking at it from a different perspective. They're looking at your perspective of cost, time, quality. A person that's on the street that's just goofing off, they're not looking for all of that. They're just like, okay, what does Google say is the top ads? And they press send. Business owners can't afford to be that flippant with their decisions on their contractors and who they hire. They have to have more research, look into what they've done before, look at the satisfaction of the other customers, and kind of spend time to sort of figure out who's the right one. But man, once you pick that contractor, just like you pick that right school of babysitter, you would wonder, like, I don't know how I was doing this before without them.
That's good. So once again, I was listening and I love the information you just gave me. So now I'm like, okay, I do need to get an NDA, right? But what is there a difference between me getting an NDA from my vendors, or is it like a vendor contract that I need to have made from an attorney, or is it something that I can make myself if I'm like a startup business?
Yeah, I mean the contracts you'll see out there. If here's the general rule: if somebody is bringing services or products to you, they should come with a contract to give to you. So if they're coming as a vendor or they come in as a supplier, they should have a contract ready. And it happens sometimes with my clients where they want me to make a contract with somebody they're going to hire. That tells me already that person's not sophisticated. And I'm already going to go, what? You're hiring them and you want me to make a contract for you hiring them? Some situations, like you said, babysitters, et cetera, they don't have a contract, so you got to draw something up. But in general, if you are passing intellectual property along to someone that has information about your business that you would consider trade secret, then yes, you would have an NDA. But if you're just, going back and forth on a transaction that really, like, you don't have an NDA for a rental car agreement, you don't have an NDA to buy a Snickers at a store. Those are all contracts. But so you got to ask yourself, is this contract raised to the level where what I give them is going to be sensitive enough that I need an NDA? Most of the time, you're not giving people really sensitive information. Sensitive information is like phone numbers to your customers. Usually it's like the website person just needs your domain name and login for your GoDaddy. Like, do you get an NDA? Sure. But the meat, NDA isn't designed to be a contract on the services. It's just something saying, hey, if we're working together and discussing things, you won't take what I'm taking and I won't take what you're taking. After you get the NDA executed, you still need a contract over what you actually do. Because when contractors make something for you or design something for you, you have to have a contract in which assigns whatever they made over to you. The NDA doesn't do that. NDA just says, hey, before we start working, let's be clear. This is mine. This is yours. It's all going to be confidential. You're not going to tell anybody. But after they say, okay, Dave, I'm ready. I got the proposal. I want to send it to you. You still need a contract separate from your NDA when you get into the services you're buying. Now, if you're the person going out soliciting clients, etc., you should have your contract ready for your client. Usually, you don't go out to get a client to have a contract and have them sign an NDA. It's like, wait, you coming to me as a customer, you want me to sign an NDA on something you're going to provide to me? That's a lot of the mistakes entrepreneurs do. They go to a customer, they find them, they're all excited, and you're like, okay, I want to hire you. Like, I need you to sign an NDA. And they're like, what? You can reach out to me. And in that case, if you're going to provide something confidential to your customers, you can just put an NDA type clause in your contract to that customer. So it's like, hey, customer, here you go. I'm going to do 10 widgets for you. We're going to do this, sign here. And then there will say, hey, you won't disclose anybody how I made these widgets for you, blah, blah, blah. But you usually wouldn't, as a vendor, tell somebody to sign an NDA. Sometimes at high levels where you got joint development agreements and manufacturings, you might still do an NDA early. But usually the day-to-day business owner only needs it for people that they're going to hire, that they're going to bring in for things that they want to show them, like payroll records or financial information. You say, okay, I need you to sign this NDA before you come work for me.
I love it. I love it.